Hi, I'm Andy and I know containers. This small 8-foot container used to be nothing more than a simple steel box. Today it's the favorite playground for my kids with a rooftop terrace, a stainless steel slide and small shop window and integrated storage space. And the key point here is not just it looks cool, the key point is that this is not one of those typical backyard playgrounds that start to wear out after a few years. This is a modular playground built from a real shipping container designed in a way that it can last long term and if needed even be dismantled, relocated or resold later. In this video I'll show you exactly how we planned it, how we built it and what actually matters if you want to do a project like this properly. The idea for this project came up right after we finished renovating our house. Once everything inside was done, it became obvious very quickly the kids needed something outside, a place that really belongs to them. But I didn't want just install some random playground structure. I didn't want something permanently fixed on the ground, something that can't be removed later, or something that just looks cheap and doesn't last. And to be honest, most of the standard playground equipment you can buy didn't really convince me. So instead of buying something, I decided to start planning it myself. The concept itself was relatively straightforward. An 8-foot container as a central element. On top of that, a rooftop terrace, on the side a staircase and a slide. But the important part was not the elements themselves. The important part was how everything connects. Everything had to stay modular. So not build once and fix it forever, but instead design it in a way that it can be disassembled, adapted or extended later. That's one of the biggest advantages of container-based projects if you think them through properly. A shipping container already brings something to the table that most playground structures don't. A very strong and stable steel frame. But at the same time, that's exactly what makes it more complex, because once you start modifying it, you need to understand how it works structurally. The walls are not flat, they are corrugated. And if you want to add openings, doors or flaps, you can't just cut something and hope it works. On the side walls, we are dealing with around 36 millimeters of profile depth. On the front wall, it's about 46 millimeters. That's why we didn't just improvise the frames. We built 40 millimeter frames on the side walls, 50 millimeter frames on the front wall. Everything was measured from the outside, meaning from the outermost points of the container, the corner castings, and not somewhere inside between the profiles. The frames were then positioned aligned using magnets, tack welded, and only after that fully welded in sections. Not a one go, because otherwise the material would warp because of the heat. And every exposed steel surface was immediately primed after welding, so rust wouldn't even get a chance to form. At the same time, we built the rooftop terrace. The frame sits directly on the container's corner castings and it is designed in a way that it is extremely stable but still removable if needed. The staircase is a separate steel structure, which was later covered with wood and equipped with a proper railing and safety features. And for the slide, I made a very conscious decision. I didn't want plastic, I wanted stainless steel. So we sourced an older stainless steel slide, adapted it, and integrated it cleanly into the terrace. Because this project was never supposed to feel like a cheap playground. After all the steel work was done, we moved on to surface protection. The container was properly prepared, primed and then painted in reed green. The color blends very well with the surroundings and together with the wood elements, it creates a calm and high quality look. Inside we separated storage and play areas, finished the ceiling and followed one very important principle. The outer shell remains untouched. So no uncontrolled drilling, no shortcuts, no solutions that might cause problems later. To create a clean access, we lowered the container by about 16 centimeters. That way there is no step when entering the container. For the foundation, we used small point foundations for the container itself and for the staircase. No massive concrete slab, just exactly what was needed. Transporting the container onto the property was actually one of the more difficult parts. We only had a forklift available and due to the soft ground, it kept sinking. But after several hours of repositioning, freeing it and trying it again, everything was finally in place. In total, the project ended up with somewhere around 15k US dollars or 21k Aussie dollars. That's definitely more than a standard playground setup, but in return, you get something that is extremely durable, modular, and even resellable. In the end, the playground turned out almost exactly the way I had planned it. For the kids, it's perfect, and for me, it's a project that combines design, engineering, and long-term functionality. If you're interested in more container project like this, just let me know in the comments. See you on the next one.